Hey guys, welcome back to this week's video. Thank you so much as usual for tuning in. It's been crazy busy at work, at home. Life is just insane. It's going by so quickly, and I have not recorded a video in a minute. So I apologize for any of those of you who actually keep track of it, which is probably none of you, but I'm back today. I'm talking about some data and some insights from a survey that was done a couple weeks ago. And you know, one thing I've learned over the last 18, 24 months is that it's much easier to create content based on somebody else's thoughts and ideas, right? So instead of doing a survey and talking through the findings, I am going to talk about somebody else's survey and their findings and react to it. And that's the challenge, I think, with content creators is how can you keep creating unique material for those people who are interested in it? Most of you know that I talk about analytics and insights and influencer marketing, and I don't want to talk about the same things every single week. So I want to go deeper. I want to try to provide new insights, new thoughts, new angles, so that the content and so that it's actionable for you, right? It's not surface level. Brands need to listen to customers, etc. It's more about how do you actually do it, and that's one thing that I've tried to do with my videos. And so here I am talking about research and data and insights from kind of a PR angle, but I really do think it's important. And the report is called JOTW Strategic Communications Survey for 2021, and it was facilitated by Ned's Jobs of the Week and Sword and Script Media. Now, what makes this special is that both Ned Lundquist of Jobs of the Week and Frank Strong of Sword and Script Media, they're both veterans. And me being a veteran, let me just salute you both and say thank you for your service. And I really do appreciate you, and I'm here to show you guys some love. So if you're watching and you are not connected with either Ned or Frank, please do connect with them on LinkedIn, on Twitter, maybe subscribe to their blogs. It's really good content. And I also want to point out that Ned Lundquist was also a captain in the US Navy. So I will salute you now, sir. And, you know, being Marines, we salute any officer in any branch of service. It's just how we are. We do it with a snap and a pop. And I love the Navy. You know, we banter a lot, you know, in the field. And I was, again, stationed with a lot of sailors and deployed with many medics. And we jab at each other 24/7. But I do love the Navy because they pretty much take us anywhere we want to go. So thank you. Now let's go ahead and jump into the data. Okay, so this report is very robust. There's about 58 slides in here, and there's really good insights. A lot of great questions were asked in this report, but I'm not going to go through each one because it would take me forever. And I am going to go through a few that caught my attention. And the first question was asked was, which of the following do you believe are the top 3 challenges currently facing comms? Now, I'm not quite sure how many years this report has been done, but I do know that they provide some historical data as it relates to some of the questions that were asked as it relates to top challenges. Now, in 2018, measurement in ROI was within the top 5 challenges. In 2019, measurement, ROI, analytics was in the top 6. And just last year, 2020, measurement in ROI was the top challenge over everything else, okay? And I believe the same questions were asked. So think back to what I just showed you and some of those other challenges on budget, staffing, scale. And so 2021, it is now number 8. And so have we figured it out? Is there something that I missed? Did I miss the memo? Has PR like found the holy grail of measurement? And so, and I'm kidding, of course, but what I want to do is I started asking around to friends and colleagues and, you know, industry peers about some of the challenges they face. Now, again, this is all anecdotal, it's conversational, and it's within my own small world. And measurement in ROI is still, in fact, an issue. In fact, it's a huge issue. Now, personally, I believe that brands either don't do it the right way, they don't know how to quantify their investments into ROI as it relates to, you know, communicating budget needs and staffing needs, and then they also are having issues or challenges with measuring the actual impact that PR has on the business, the brand, and its reputation. And so that's my perspective, again, within my own small circle of influence and world. But going back to the report very quickly, later in the report, it asks the question around, you know, if you could choose one thing that you would need help with, what would it be moving forward? And 23% say that measuring PR. And so there's either a disconnect in the questions or the answers, or maybe the question wasn't asked the right way. And so my thinking is, well, maybe it's just, again, they forgot about it, or maybe they are not necessarily interested in measuring PR because it's not easy, right? You don't just count hits and count, you know, number of mentions in a press release or you know, a piece of media. There's so much more that could be done as it relates to showing impact. And it's not easy, right? That's why, large companies and agencies are, investing in analytics, because you have to find other ways to communicate the value of media relations to not just the C-suite, but to your management, to your internal stakeholders. Now, one last question I want to talk about is around paid media and sponsored content. Now, in the report and in this context, it was really around Forbes councils. Now, a Forbes council is basically a subscription model where you pay $1,200 to Forbes, and someone, an executive or someone within a company, has access to build a network, right? You can connect with others, you can connect with peers and influencers and others in the industry, but you also have the benefit of publishing long form content or an article on Forbes.com. Now, if you come across one of these articles, you might see there's some disclosure right under the title of the article around this is part of the Forbes Technology Council, or this is part of the Forbes Agency Council. Now, I have some personal views on this, and honestly, sometimes I'm for it, sometimes I'm against it. I'm for it in many cases. Well, let me start with why I'm against it. Mainly because I think it's not as credible as if it were a journalist writing about it, right? And that has been the lifelong question around sponsored content, which is, what are your underlying motives writing about this piece of technology and the fact that it's benefiting your business and not necessarily the industry, right? So there's a credibility factor. Now, on the flip side, Forbes.com is huge, right? From a unique visitor standpoint, they're generating 30 million, 40, 50, 60 million. I don't remember the exact number, but several million unique visitors per month. In fact, I challenge you to go to Google and type in any keyword, right? Industry keyword, and 9 times out of 10, a Forbes article will appear in the search results within the top 5. So from a visibility standpoint, it's great because you can start generating, links, and you can also get, more traffic to at least your thoughts and ideas around a topic. But then there is the credibility issue. Now, outside of sponsored content, you have paid media, right? And there's a lot of different ways to think about paid media specifically for PR. Now, paid media is predictable, right? You know exactly what you are going to receive based on the amount of money you invest, right? If you invest $5,000, you're going to get this many impressions, this many clicks at this click-through rate. And for the most part, within reason, it's predictable. Now, earned media is not, right? You pitch stories and you don't know if you're going to get coverage or not. Now, you may have good relationships and you're, a great track record, but still, it's hard to predict. It's almost impossible to predict earned media. Now, many PR practitioners that I know in the past have written a press release, pitched a few media, and then called it a day, right? They went on to the next program, they went on to the next release or announcement, and your job is far from over, right? People don't read press releases. And I can't believe it's 2021 and I'm still saying this. They don't read press releases. Journalists don't read press releases. And again, just because you pitch media doesn't necessarily mean they will cover your story. And so when you do get coverage, that's a great opportunity for you to be really strategic and smart about using paid media to drive visibility to that piece of earned coverage. Now, there's a lot of tactical ways to do this, right? You can do search. You can drive traffic to a third-party website through paid search. Now, display advertising, I would not necessarily recommend that, but paid social, right? So promoting a tweet, driving traffic, giving some love to the journalist and driving traffic to his or her article is a really smart thing to do, right? You can do that with Facebook. You can do that with LinkedIn, with Twitter easily. And so the pushback that I get sometimes is that, well, you want me to invest in $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 in driving traffic to somewhere off domain. In other words, not to mybrand.com, but to a piece of earned coverage. And my response always is yes, absolutely, 100%. Why not? If you want to achieve maximum visibility against different audiences, because paid media can with paid media, you can be very smart about who you target, right? It's especially with the technology today. And so, yes, invest that money, drive traffic to a piece of earned coverage, because your job is to get publicity. Public relations is about getting visibility and getting, third-party individuals to talk about your business. And so there's no better way at doing that than promoting a piece of earned coverage. And yes, driving traffic to a third-party site.